The big news of the week is the Friends of the Hollywood Theater are no longer the owners of the Dormont Hollywood Theater. It has been purchased by the Theater Historical Society, and it's a big, big breaking story for the people who live in the South Hills area of Pittsburgh, out in Dormont. You're from out that way, Jay.
That's right.
You want to grab your mic? There, and not drag it across the desk.
Right. Beachview, the forgotten town of South Hills and stuff. Most people don't remember Beachview. I have to say, like Dormont, Brookline, they'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember Beachview now.
But that's the big news. It's now under new ownership, and it's something that's apparently has been, if you listen to what the Friends of the Hollywood Theater have been saying, it's something that's happened very underhanded, in an underhanded way, in a very shady way. And a lot of people are very, very angry. Well, according to the Hollywood Theater, and I can say, I can attest to this, that they have spent a ton of money into remodeling the theater, in adding necessary changes. They're in the middle of purchasing a new projector for the theater, a digital projector, which is extremely expensive, and it's vital for them to operate. So all of these things have been going on. They've been investing the money into the theater, and because of that, they haven't been able to purchase the theater yet from the former owners, which was the Hollywood group. So now, Theater Historical Society, apparently they went in and they were in talks of purchasing the theater before. Mm-hmm. The Hollywood Friends of the Dormont Hollywood said that they didn't want to. Well, then they went around behind their back and they purchased it anyways. So
bastards.
There are people who are very, very upset, and they are going to social media claiming that they will never go to the Hollywood Theater again. And
I like that place.
I liked it too. I've slept in the Hollywood Theater on a couple occasions.
Me too.
And well, you know what? In my defense, I have a hard time dealing with trying to stay awake because of my shitty, horrible, awful overnight job. Mm-hmm. So I'm a big fan of the Rocky Horror production that they do there.
Yeah.
And my friend Randy, who's my co-producer or co-host on the Culture Cruise, he always invites me out to the Rocky Horror shows. So I go there, and I love it, but you get me in the evening time on my night off in a dark room on a comfortable couch. What do you expect to happen?
Right. I heard that things changed. Like the last time I heard that they was doing the Rocky Horror Picture Show, they decided not to not allow people to throw the food, like throw the popcorn and stuff.
Well, they
used to make it was kind of like a tradition.
They give you different bags with what you're allowed to use. Actually, let's bring in my guest. We actually have Ryan Pasko, who is from the. Did I say that wrong?
No,
I said it right. Okay, he is from the Junior Chamber of Commerce Players, which is the organization that puts on the Rocky shows at the Dormont. We have him in studio to talk about the development and talk about what his organization plans to do, because you guys really were vital to the success of the theater under the former nonprofit that ran it, the Friends of the Hollywood Theater. So what do you guys plan to do now? Do you guys plan to stay and continue to do shows there? I know the board member here in Pittsburgh of the Theater Historical Society, he had claimed that he wanted to continue to work with you guys. He also claimed that he wanted to work with the Friends of the Dormont Hollywood Theater, but the way that he made the purchase, I think that's questionable whether he really wants to work with that organization or not. So what do you guys plan to do? What are your plans?
Well, we are planning to stay at the Hollywood Theater as much as we can. We aren't really tied to anybody. We're not tied to the theater itself. We like to say we're Pittsburgh's Rocky Horror Shadowcast. We are Pittsburgh's area. Yeah. But the current people coming in, the Theater Historical Society, actually reached out to us. We were on conference calls with them. They wanted to make sure that they wanted to keep Rocky going, because we do as well. And that's the thing. Us as a group, the Junior Chamber of Commerce Players, we always say that we want people to have that home, the misfits, the weirdos. We want them to come in and feel welcome, in that theater. So we're trying to keep that going. Even if Hollywood's under new ownership and people are still upset about things, and just what happened. We still want to give people that home, that place that they can come to, and really try as much as we can to keep everything as is for our shows and have a good time and have fun with it. And we do allow people to throw some things.
Yeah, so what do you allow people to throw? Or have there been changes, as Jay suggests?
Every place is different. We have our own prop bags that we sell, and they contain like toast to throw, cards, toilet paper, and you can buy like rolls of toilet paper, noisemakers, like rubber gloves to snap, and party hats, I think, and newspaper, things like that. But we don't do rice, which is a big thing in some places. And there have been random things like hot dogs and prunes at different theaters. We try to stay away from the stuff that's horrible to clean.
Prunes.
Yeah. It's about the cleaning.
It's mostly because we clean up the theater after the show, and we don't want things that could mold or get disgusting and just be really difficult. So we try to keep it to simple things. But yeah, we've had people in the past end up throwing hamburgers at a show. That's the one change we had to make, was put in a rule about don't throw hamburgers. It was a crazy show. A guy dressed up as Ronald McDonald as
you got to give him a plus for creativity. He actually came in as Frankenfurter, McDonald Frankenfurter.
McDonald Frankenfurter.
Explain who Frankenfurter is for anybody who hasn't seen Rocky Horror.
Frankenfurter is Tim Curry's character. If you know the song "The Sweet Transvestite," he comes in. He's the main. Some people say the main character or the main villain, but he's the main guy that kind of seduces everybody, gets them in there, and kind of just transforms the whole show. And it's the
Existential Gentlemen have a great cover of Sweet
Tim Curry was the man
actually.
back in the 80s, man. I
swear.
It
was so good. Yeah, we had a crazy show. That was an alum coming back in, played this crazy character of Frankenfurter, but as Ronald, and we started passing out hamburgers to the crowd, and then they just started throwing them. So we kind of stopped that now. But it was a great time. It's a great show. But yeah.
That's crazy. Jaye Cooper's with me, Brian Crawford. This is River Talk. We finally made it on air after all of the cameras failing all at the same time right as we went to go live. We will have Liz Tripoli in studio a little bit later. We're going to talk with her as well as Ryan Caldwell. They're here. They're waiting. They're waiting with anticipation. But we're gonna jump into we're gonna continue to talk about Hollywood here for a few more minutes, because this is really a big story out down in that area, and it could. Do you think, Ryan, that the theater will change in a way that people won't recognize it as it was under the Friends of the Hollywood Theater?
I don't know. I can't say right now because we haven't seen
Nothing's happened.
Nothing's happened really yet. We're all hoping not. We're hoping it's going to stay best that it is. We know that some of the programming might change. They have stated they want to do some different programming with more
different.
They want to do more current movies that are a little bit more popular.
No, damn it, no.
And that's the issue.
That's what they were known for.
Yeah.
They were known for playing the cult classic movies from the 70s and the 80s and stuff. Some even earlier than that. Some good
we're hoping that they see that and they want to bring some of that back. But as I said, nothing really happened. It just kind of started happening this week with the Friends of the Hollywood shutting their doors, and now THS, or the Theater Historical Society, taking over. But
do you think the cat video marathon, the competition, do you think that will be at risk with the new owners? Because I feel like that's so cool that happens there. And that you actually have
here. What are we talking about?
They have some sort of competition. I saw it. It was advertised where
cat videos?
They had cat videos in the movie theater. You could go sit in the movie theater and watch cat videos from YouTube, and they were competing against each other, I believe. Is that kind of thing gone, do you think, or do you think it could stick around? Do you think that's gone?
I would think so, but I don't know. I mean, hopefully things like that have homes, and we can still do things like that at the Hollywood Theater, but as of right now, it's too soon to say. So I don't know.
You guys worried with the junior players of the Chamber of Commerce? Were you worried that you might lose your home with this switch?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's when it was stated. We were kind of nervous that we would be out of a home again. It's happened before, because we we consider that our home because we have a lot of storage space that we use in the basement. That's where we put on a bulk of our shows, primarily.
Well, are you worried about any of that being affected? Because I know that they are talking about moving some of their office spaces for their nationwide organization into the space. They're talking about changing some things into the lobby where they're going to be bringing in different memorabilia and things like that. So you guys could still potentially lose a lot of your storage space and stuff like that.
We talked to them, and we had a phone call, we had a conference call with them, and that was our first couple questions. Are we still able to perform? Are we going to have shows? They said, yeah. And then we said, how about our space? Are we still going to be able to have space and store our stuff and put on, the same caliber of shows? They said, yeah, we've been in there. We know what stuff is yours. We know your area. We want to keep you guys. We want to make sure that the space is still there for us. So as of now, we feel pretty confident that we'll still be able to perform and do our stuff.
Will the theater have a projector?
Yes. As of right now, there is a 35 millimeter projector. We're going to be showing Rocky on 35 millimeter.
So the digital projector.
That's what I'm talking about.
But my question is, the digital projector will stay with the Friends of the Hollywood Theater, because that was one of the big things that came up about in a statement that they made. And I haven't, to be fair, I have not spoken to the Theater Historical Society to get their side of things as to what's going on with this projector. But the Friends of the Hollywood Theater were in the process of purchasing a projector, and then they claim that the Theater Historical Society kind of went around their back and inquired about the projector to try to get ownership of that projector. Is there any validity to that, to your knowledge, or have you heard the Theater Historical Society's perspective on that?
I haven't heard any perspective on it other than kind of the same thing you just said, that they kind of went to try to go to the company and get the projector, but last I heard, the Friends of the Hollywood are retaining that. That's the digital projector, but I still believe there is the 35 millimeter, and I'm not sure how that's going to impact what the Theater Historical Society wants to kind of show. Mm-hmm. I know for us, we do have a print of Rocky. We have the 35 millimeter, in which I like to put it on.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Anyway, yeah.
I'm all on board for a 5 Rocky marathon, like just the first 5 though.
Oh yeah,
just the first 5.
We've always wanted to do Rocky as a Shadowcast, but
that would be interesting. Rocky meets Rocky
just
Horror.
Maybe like an April Fool show or something, but we just do Rocky instead.
Now, are you guys going to use this as an opportunity to branch out and try other places as well, or do you think you're committed to staying in the Hollywood?
I don't think we're committed. We are looking, at every opportunity. We always want to branch out, go places, and it's always nice to actually do that type of travel show. When we had one chance, we went to Row House in October, and it was a great experience.
Roadhouse.
No, Row House.
Row House.
Out in Lawrenceville.
Sorry.
Lawrenceville, yeah.
I thought it was Roadhouse.
But yeah,
you took me back
too. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
But yeah, we're trying to get opportunities to go out and see what's in the community. As I said, we want to be Pittsburgh's cast. We don't want to say we're only in Dormont or we're only in that Hollywood theater. We want to be able to go anywhere where people want to see Rocky Horror.
But that is nice, though. I mean, it's one of the only things that makes me want to come out to Potomac.
Yeah, true.
Because Potomac is nothing but mostly you got a couple of tattoo places, pizza joints.
Yeah,
and
it's a nice little town.
It's getting more shops. There's now a new coffee shop opened up, a record store down there now. It's pretty cool. But it's
bars over there.
A couple bars, yeah.
So you guys often have lines that are going out the door and down the street, all the way to the corner. Sometimes it wraps around the side of the building. Are you afraid of the audience dipping with the outcry that you've seen on social media?
I'm a little nervous personally. I have that little fear that it's going to be people boycotting because of this ownership, but we want to put ourselves out there saying we're still us.
Yeah.
Come to the Hollywood, still see the Rocky Horror Picture Show with us, because it's one of the only places around here that's showing it, and we put on a great show. So we hope that it doesn't dip and people aren't upset about the theater as much and they still want to come see our show. So
I was shocked to see how just how they just put it out there, the Friends of the Hollywood Theater, when this came down. I mean, they did not hold back any punches. They just went out with telling it how it is, and they were aggressive in their stances and their statements. And I was kind of a little surprised. I honestly enjoyed it. It's because you don't always see. Not that I enjoyed that there's this fight going on, but I enjoyed seeing the candor, because usually everybody's so careful with their words, and they were not careful with their words at all. They just went out and said what they felt, and at the same time that could really affect you guys as well. Being that, are you a little disappointed in how they handled the transition on their end?
Not really. I mean, it felt like a shock to everybody, us included, us as a cast, because everybody got blindsided all at once. So it was kind of, I think they did the best job they could to put the statement out there as the truth, because the first thing we saw, and I know I was sitting on the couch one Saturday morning, and somebody shared and said, hey, look, someone's buying the theater. And it was just a news article, then other news articles, and it seemed like it was just a group coming in wanting to buy the theater and make it better. And then things started to come out as the Friends of the Hollywood started to put their side out there. So I don't want to say like we as a cast agree, but I know personally I like how they did it. I'm glad that they were able to speak their mind. But yeah, we try to stay as neutral as possible with those things, because we still want to keep our home. We still want to perform there. We still want to make that home for Rocky.
I got a confession. I did not see the Rocky Horror Picture movie yet.
Well, you still have time.
I know. So. I've been wanting to. I walk past it all the time, and I see it, and I keep thinking to myself, eventually I'll go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they play it on TV, but watching it on TV, it ain't the same.
Oh, no.
Commercials and everything. I will say that I did watch a video on YouTube, the Time Warp Dance.
Yeah.
Oh, the Time Warp is great.
That's the one that I remember the most.
Before, when I used to not have to pay licensing fees, I used to use that. I used to use that as a segue for a segment of my show where we would go back in time, and we would do like something that was going on in history. So we took the Time Warp to go back, and it was pretty great. No, it's a great song.
It was always fun doing that dance, especially when I take my braids out and I got my fro out and stuff, and I'm just doing that.
Ryan, what characters do you play in Rocky?
Oh, me, man. Mostly, I would be Brad Majors or Riff Raff.
Yeah, I've seen you as Brad a few times.
Yeah.
I used to go before I started. Everything changed. I only have one day off a week, and it changes. I used to go to Rocky almost every other weekend, because I would go. When I stopped going as much, actually, is when Randy started getting involved with you. My friend Randy Highland, he's on the Culture Cruise. He started getting involved, and then I lost the person I would go and watch it with, so I'd just be there by myself. So that's when I started going less, actually. But I still go every once in a while. But yeah, I've seen you play Brad a few times, I believe.
Oh, yeah. That's
Who else have you played?
Brad, Riff Raff, Dr. Scott, Eddie, the criminologist, and probably one of my favorites, Janet.
You've played Janet.
I
That's
played Janet.
fantastic.
I was going to say he played the entire male cast and one female. Okay.
Yeah, every time we always have in December, we have a hat show where we just put all the names into a hat and we pick out our role beforehand. And
Oh, that sounds like fun.
It's great. And
so it's random.
It's just random.
Okay.
An hour before the show, you don't even know who you are. You're just going to pull a name. And 2 years in a row, I pulled Janet. It was great. And everyone's like, you should do it again. I'm like, I'll do it again.
We'll do it. Yeah, sure. So have you directed any of the Shadowcasts?
Actually, this month, we always vote directors for like a month. And this month, me and another friend, we're directing the two shows. So on the 24th is our second show. We put the cast together. We run some rehearsals, get them to do some neat things. So yeah.
Let's open it up to our other guests here. We have Ryan and Liz in the studio. Are you guys? So I'm surrounded by people who. Here's the thing. Everybody here that is surrounding me. I'm not sure where you're from, Ryan, but I know the other three. They're all from the southern part of the city. It just shows the magnetism that my personality commands. That everybody has traveled from the other side of the city and crossed 2 rivers to come see me and sit on this show. So you guys are from that way. Do you go to the Hollywood?
I have. I used to go for the 24-hour or 48-hour film whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 48-hour film festival showings, and I don't know. I've been there for a couple like random things. I know I was there for the Weird Paul did like this like home videos and stuff. It was really cool.
Awesome.
But yeah, every time I ever go, it's always for like some strange one-off kind of thing that they're doing. It's fun.
Ryan,
I have not actually been.
you've never been there.
No.
Now, are you guys going to boycott now that it's under new ownership?
Absolutely, I will continue to never go there. No. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I'd like to come, support.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think it's ever solely about the venue or a company that comes in and buys things up. Sometimes it's more about the individuals that are making the experience happen.
Yeah. And a lot of times you're
I think that's part of the reason why there is this outcry is because the Friends of the Hollywood Theater was a group of people who, it was a nonprofit, and it was a group of people that got this theater moving. So there was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that went into getting that theater to have this name and to be this theater that people care so much about, and to have them lose the ability to control the theater. I think that's why there is such an outcry. So I think it is because of that reason.
That's fair.
So,
that makes sense.
It's a weird situation. I'm hoping that the theater still survives, because obviously you've got groups like the Junior Chamber of Commerce Players, and then also just the community at large. It's helpful for them. So one idea that I had, are you familiar with that one song, Alice? The song where they go, Alice, Alice, who the fuck is Alice? You know that song, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think now that you've got the Theater Historical Society, maybe they'll have the licensing power to get that song with some money behind them, and maybe you can play that in the intro as people are coming in,
That'd
and
be
people can cuss out Alice on their way into to sitting down.
We used to play a lot of music beforehand. We used to do like dance parties and play a lot of popular music, and then there was an issue with copyright laws coming in. People were a little bit scared, so we're wondering about that ourselves. We're gonna hopefully try to bring that back and bring dance parties and have some more exciting intros than people just kind of sitting in their seat waiting for it to start. So
yeah,
nice.
that would be fun. So, what's your favorite memory of the old Hollywood Theater under the old regime?
Oh man, probably just being able to walk in and seeing a packed theater, seeing every seat sold out. And this was like the one memory I had was going to see, I wasn't even in the cast yet of Rocky. I went to go see Rocky Horror, and it was with the cast of Perks of Being a Wallflower. They were showing up, and
that was a good movie.
Yeah,
and it was a damn good book too.
Yeah,
Great book.
They were actually in the balcony. They were going to just watch what goes on at a Rocky Horror show, and they just want to see. So Emma Watson was there, and I think Ezra Miller was there. They're all in the balcony. And
you met Emma Watson?
I didn't meet her, but she was there. She was in the balcony. I was down on the floor. I turned around up in the top. But
you shared some oxygen.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah,
oh my God, I breathed her
some of my
air.
friends though, they did meet her. They were actually in the movie with the cast. They were actually filmed. So for me though, I remember walking in there as one of the first times, packed house, crazy energy.
Wow.
Everybody's just super excited. So that's one of the best memories, is just walking into that theater with that energy of that fun. Everyone's gonna pretty much just go nuts and throw things in the air and just have a good time.
Has anyone ever threatened to sue you guys for sexual harassment?
No, but we're always worried about it.
Yeah, no, because I just remember it was funny. I was there. Whenever you go to Rocky for the first time, they put a big V on your head for virgin, because you're a virgin at the movie. And the first time I went there, I remember they put us, and all these people nowadays, they, I hate to sound like that old man, but these kids nowadays have it easy. When I first started going, it was still under the Junior Chamber of Commerce Players, but they had us all lined up, and they came by and smacked all of us in the ass as they walked by. Now, I went a little bit ago, and they all got off easy.
Yeah.
So, and then I still read on Facebook somebody was whining about going to Rocky and being brought up as a virgin. I'm thinking, well, what the hell do you think this show is?
Yeah. It was always a tradition, just poke fun at the people who haven't seen it. They're virgins. You get to do that. It was brought to our attention that there was a little bit of a complaint about that, people getting spanked at the beginning. So we did change up our kind of initiation process, and we do like a virgin oath now, and make them say an oath, but we still do virgin games. So we always get willing volunteers to play silly games like fake an orgasm, or sometimes
the games are great. I love the games, but I will have to say, that term always comes out there about people who are like wimps or whiny or whatever, and this is a prime example. It's like you're coming to Rocky Horror Picture Show to a shadow cast. I mean, come on,
That's the problem with kids these days. They don't get spanked enough.
That's right. That's exactly right. They don't get spanked enough. So we got to. Maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe Rocky could be the last bastion of hope to putting people back in law.
Child discipline. Come to Rocky.
Fantastic. All right, Ryan. Well, thank you so much. You're welcome to stick around through the Hood Rat of the Week if you'd like. If you got to take
Hood Rat of the Week,
as
Cooper's
well.
Corner.
But we're going to roll into Cooper's Corner, and actually, if you can share a mic with Howie here.
Sure.
We're going to roll into Cooper's Corner. Do you guys want to get started with that?
Absolutely.
I think I'm...
Howie, give me a beat. Beatbox, that is.
Not a beat down. Not a Rocky horror
beat off.
Anyway.
Y'all are in some crazy shit here.
I know, right?
1,
2, 3. Cooper's Corner. Cooper's Corner. Cooper's Corner. Cooper's Corner. Cooper's Corner. That was nice. Very good.
One day we will have a budget.
We're going to have an album, and it's all going to say Cooper's Corner, but it's going to be
Just
sung
be
in
different versions.
ways. Yeah, different versions, man, straight down. All right, for Cooper's Corner, police on this past Wednesday, were trying to piece together how a 49-year-old skier whose disappearance sparked a massive search on a snowy New York mountainside ended up 6 days later in California, confused and still in his ski clothes.
Wait, what did he do again?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you. Toronto firefighter Konstantinos, I'm going to make sure I say his name right. Konstantinos Danny Philippidis. I think I said it right. Philippidis or Philippidis, whatever. He told investigators that he didn't know what happened after he was reported missing Wednesday, February 7th from Whiteface Mountain, New York during an annual ski trip with his colleagues. The search ended this past Tuesday on the 13th when Philippidis turned up in Sacramento, California, some 2,500 miles away. So Philippidis told the deputies that he remembered little, thought he suffered a head injury, rode in a big red style truck, slept a lot, which if anybody gets a head injury, the last thing you do is take a nap. You don't do that.
Could you die from that?
Exactly, you could die from that, yeah. So,
or end up in California.
So
Yeah, right?
It was very nice of the person to just pick up a stranger in ski clothes and drive them all the way to Sacramento.
Did you ask him, you want something to drink first?
Right?
Yeah.
Here, I got a pillow.
No. You got a roofie.
Now, but they called off the search after the 6 days when he bought an iPhone and he was able to call his wife, and then he called 911 and they tracked him and they found out where he was, and they didn't even want to go into they didn't even think about California. They were still in New York. We're talking helicopters were looking for him. They had 140 people a day combing through the snow with their bare hands trying to find this guy. Yeah. So
Must be important.
Not really.
No one is looking for
They
me
didn't
for 6
say
days.
what the hell he did.
6 hours.
He's just,
we're
he's
done.
just-
We're done.
he's just a firefighter from Canada. I don't know how the hell so he's from Toronto, but he skied in New York. So I don't know.
Wow.
Wait,
I
to
just
be
found-
fair, was he skiing or skiing?
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? There is two different types of snow. So
I fell into the snow.
Yeah.
yeah.
For 6 days. That'll
Good
As
happen.
to why so many people were sifting through it.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
So if anybody ever wanted to know how far the distance between New York to California,
Before the high wears off.
right? 2,500.
There we go. Interesting. I know I'm so sick of the winter. I'm so glad it's like the last few days
Yes.
have been unbelievable. For February, I will never complain about this. It's
I mean, okay, like my birthday's next week.
yeah.
And it's
Happy
always
birthday.
thank you.
Wait,
And
what date is it?
the 25th.
Okay, never mind.
Why is your birthday coming up as well?
I know like 19 people that have February 22nd as their birthday.
yeah,
That's why.
Oh, really?
My
I'm
President's
so
birthday.
here's like I often complain about my birthday because it's on a horrible. Actually, it's not as horrible as I thought. I used to think. I found out my birthday is on International Podcast Day, and that's pretty badass. But
That is badass.
before I had learned that, I always hated my birthday because it's always a miserable day.
That's what I'm saying.
But then when I think about people who have their birthdays in February, I rethink my stance on my birthday because at least it's not. See, I was a stupid baby. And I was supposed to be born in August. And I ended up not being born until the last day in September. So I picked a much worse time of year. Like that 1 month makes a huge difference. It's much warmer in August.
Yeah.
It's a much
But
better
it's still
time of
nice
year.
out.
Not September 30th. It usually the way the weather works, it
That's
always
hoodie weather. That's
no,
why
not
that's why
always.
your
It's
birthday-
miserable. See, the way weather works, as I can tell you, because I've got 31 years of experience, and when you are born on that, the day of your birth, you know that day, and you know what the weather's like every year, right?
Cold.
I live in
yeah.
Pittsburgh. It could be anything.
That is true.
I'm in November. It can be like 30 degrees or like 102.
September 30th is
Yeah.
very consistent. It always goes from really nice weather, and then like September 30th, it dips down and it gets cold and rainy and miserable every year, and then it gets back up for the beginning of October,
That is
and
true,
then it goes
actually.
back down. Yeah, but always September 30th, it's miserable. I had one birthday on September 30th where I was able to have a party outside, and that's it. And I can remember
Ooh,
it
that
vividly.
must be nice.
I can remember
Yeah, right?
but I can remember that date vividly because it's such an anomaly on September 30th. It's usually miserable, but I could have been born in August, which is a wonderful time of year where it's very warm and hot and everybody could be outside.
Change the
But
location
Brian,
of
your
your
last
birthday.
birthday had free liquor.
Yeah.
It did, yeah. That's because I know how to throw a party, right?
Yes.
Is that why you're so punctual now? Because you were a late baby.
Maybe.
Make up for it.
That's a good question. I don't know. I just the people expect me, Liz. The people expect me, and I want to give the people what they want. I'm a giver.
You are quite
I'm
a
a
giver.
giver, yeah, and I just want to make sure that I'm there for the people. The people demand more Crawford, so I try to give the people what they want. That's why I'm on multiple days a week.
Nicholas Anthony Graybill says, I get all the pumpkins in October.
Yes.
October sucks. I'm sorry. Halloween
Ooh.
sucks
Your
too.
birthday look-
It all
What?
sucks.
I think
I don't
Damn,
know.
look what you just did. Look
Halloween,
what you just did.
could do Halloween any time of the year. Why in the hell would you pick? Why in the hell would you pick?
Because what else are you going
Now,
to do in
Howard's
October?
birthday's in October. You're saying?
What you do
Wow.
in October is you press on the gas pedal, warm up the earth, and make every month like July. That's what you do in October.
In a perfect universe, that would be
Brian,
nice.
pro global warming.
I have advocated.
First will be global warming day.
I have advocated for the warming of the earth for a long time because I
Global
hate
Warming
the winter.
Awareness Month. That would be awesome. I'd be on board with that.
No, seriously though, I mean,
We're gonna do a comedy show. about
nothing
global
against your
warming.
birthday. I hate my birthday too, so it's not like it's against you. I don't hate myself. Hell, I created my own. I created a network just so I could hear myself talk.
It's true.
Brian,
So
if it wasn't for you, I never would have tried mead.
yeah, that's right. See?
That is true. I had no
But
idea
here's
what
the
mead
thing.
was. I thought that was a brand or something.
But here's the thing. I could have had that.
Not cultured. We didn't know that.
But I could have had that same party with that same mead in a much warmer climate, like in August.
I'm not gonna lie, your birthday was kind of cold. I did have a
Yeah, like I said, it's a miserable day out. Notice the party was inside.
I know it
because-
doesn't look it, but Howie can be a little anemic sometimes.
Not really.
Yes, he
Not as
can.
much as him.
What you talking about?
Yeah.
I strip down. I don't. I get hot all the time. You're the one always putting your down. In fact, I'm surprised you ain't got your jacket on right now.
It's over here.
He trying to show off his guns. That's why he took his
Well, there's like
shit
75 people in this room, so it's probably a little
Yeah.
warmer than usual.
Got the lights on too.
Speaking of all the people in this room, we do have Linda Chipotle, and we
Thank
have Ryan Caldwell, who are right here. And the reason why I call you Linda is that's a name that Jay gave to you.
No, that was an autocorrect.
Yeah.
Sure.
It
He blames
popped up
it.
there.
He blames it on the autocorrect. I think he's trying to change your name. So
That's only for
Linda,
That's like-
Linda
If you do
Chipotle,
something wrong, tell them no. I'm Linda.
I don't know who this Liz
This
is.
is
Mike Caldwell. We're gonna talk with you guys in just a second. I do want to take a quick break so I can zhuzh all of the mics around. So we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk with Linda Chipotle. We're going to talk with Ryan Caldwell.
That's my name.
And people will think that's your name now. Yes. Well, this whole thing started when I was trying to call her name out at an open mic, and she chastised me for saying her name incorrectly. So I
Now, see, when I had you at our midweek mic,
Yeah.
I pronounced your name
I was proud of him.
perfectly.
Because I'm so used to everyone
Perfectly.
saying it wrong.
Triple.
Dylan Weston used to always murder my name.
How
and
did he
everyone
say
made
it?
Fun of me. Tripod, whatever. I'm like, dude, the place in Libya. But he always got it wrong.
I didn't even know there was a place in Libya called
Me neither.
Chipotle.
I'm just really.
I hate you.
They must be big. Must be big
I'm actually
Mexican
heiress
fans.
to the Chipotle industry, so
Right, we need an angel.
Thank you for the
investor.
tacos.
We-
I thank
They
you
don't-
for adding that to the menu.
Oh, they added that to the menu. I was gonna say
Yeah.
I didn't think they even had those. So.
Yeah, they just.
that was
yeah.
me. I thought it'd be a good idea.
I appreciate it.
All right, so we're gonna take a. I actually gotta unjudge that before we go on break. We're gonna go on a quick break. And
When we come back, we're going to find out how to spell that word that you just said. What the hell did you say?
Zhuzh.
Zhuzh?
ZHOOZH.
All right, this is River Talk. This is the River's Edge Radio Network. It's Pittsburgh's voice for local music. When we come back, we're going to talk with Linda. We're going to talk with Ryan, and we're going to see what they have going on. But until then, we have some commercials for you. So we're going to play some commercials, and then we will be right back.
Brian Crawford letting you know that Kevin Slogic, my State Farm agent in Allison Park, is here to help life go right and reminds you that you're listening to the River's Edge Radio Network.
Hey River's Edge listeners, Alex here from the Mike Sasson Show, and boy have I got to tell you about Salon 22, a small local business located right here in Millville. I got my hair colored there about 2 weeks ago, and I still can't stop staring at myself. They use this awesome new technique called color melting to make me look like a mermaid. But don't worry, if mermaid hair isn't your thing, they'll meet all your hair goals, with things like balayage, rose gold, unicorn hair, ombre, as well as monochromatic color, which is your standard basic coloring. Seriously, they do it all, and they do it good. Check Salon 22 out on Facebook and mention this ad when you make your appointment to receive a free color lock service to help preserve your color. It's a $20 value for free. I'm not kidding. Book your appointment now by calling 412-822-7222. That's 412-822-7222.
All right, we are back here on the River's Edge Radio Network. We've zhuzhed all the mics around, so we should be set to go to continue in with our show here today. We have, as I've said before, we have Ryan, and Liz. Is it Liz?
It's very nice to meet you, Brian.
Liz, not Linda.
It is not Linda.
Not Linda.
Liz. Yes.
It's Liz. All right, so we have Liz here in studio.
Tripoli.
We have Liz.
Now you messed it up.
I know. I did that on purpose.
Oh,
So the whole thing started with that. I was at the Acoustic Cafe. I was hosting, which is actually kind of an interesting story. So when I hosted that open mic, Liz,
yes.
months before, about like 6 months.
That's your real name.
If that's your real name. Like 6 months before that, I was lounging outside of this courtyard that we can overlook from the studio here, and I was half asleep. I may have actually been sleeping at the time, and Jesse Prentice was out there. And I woke up out of a slumber, and he wrote this page, this book. He wrote this little event thing on the Trib's website. He says how I woke up out of a slumber to announce that I was going to host the Acoustic Cafe, and then a few months later, I did. So whenever we were there, then I was calling people's names, and I was calling your name to try to allow myself to be heard, and I said Liz Chipotle. No, wait, how did I say it? Liz Tripoli. Or I said it in a way where you were like, no, that's not. Liz Tripoli, that's what I said, or something like that. And you're like, no, that's not my name.
Now tell everybody exactly how it's pronounced.
Tripoli. Like 3 E's in a row.
There you go.
So she says, but everybody else thinks it's
Or
Chipotle.
really wide shoe, a triple E.
Triple E.
So you have a show coming up, correct?
I do.
You do. What is the
Who's
show?
gonna be there?
Gee, I wonder who could it be? These dashing gentlemen over here. Jay, Howie, hi.
Hey,
Right behind them, there's two other people.
She
and
had
they're
me
the
at
people.
dashing.
I've never been called dashing before. I like that. No, but continue.
Oh, yes. Tonight we'll be at the Subalpine, which is an Italian-American club, which I am excited to play with Vincent. I almost said Vincent D'Onofrio. That's not right. Vincent Didiano.
Didiano.
What, he's playing?
that
Did you say he's
too. I
playing
did
there?
that.
He's doing the
performing.
comedy thing.
Oh, okay. No, when you said playing, I thought maybe he had some like musical skill that I was unaware of.
Yeah, you don't know about him?
I don't know. What
It's
does he do?
Vincent and the little Didianos. Yeah, they're fantastic. They do all Broadway hits from the 30s.
There we go.
But yeah, no, the four of us will be there tonight. I'm excited because Vincent and I are very Italian, and Yins are not, so I have the upper hand for once. Ha ha.
You don't know my relatives at all, do you?
Well, I do actually. I actually looked you up on Ancestry.com before I came here this evening. This morning. It cost a lot of money to find out that I am more
They don't
Italian
know
than
what
you.
I am. That's.
I don't know what the hell I am.
So tell me about this show. Where is the club at? What part of
It is
town?
in Turtle Creek or Turtle Creek
Turtle
if you're
Creek,
from
yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Kettle Creek.
And
It's
it's
phonetic spelling of crick.
I don't.
CRICK.
That Yinzer shit, man. I swear
It's like
to
I got a
God.
crick in my neck.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
you have a water? That's weird.
Yeah, let's wash it off.
Yeah, wash.
Wash it and then rinse it.
No, I do some of the
Wash
things
and
though.
rinse.
I do the Pittsburgh to be. I cut that out. Like my car needs washed, not my car needs to be washed, which is a shame. I don't say pop though.
Well, you know what's so weird? Like,
Soda.
I find myself, so I listen to the BBC a lot overnight to get caught up on my news because they do a better job than anyone here in the United States at least. And I'll be listening to the BBC overnight, and they drive me nuts with certain things, and I'm always correcting their English. So they'll say that,
You're correcting the English.
The English is English.
yes. So I'll be listening to the BBC, and they're like, so-and-so went to hospital. And I'm like, no, they went to the hospital. They went to the hospital. What the hell happened to the?
What the hell happened to the?
Yeah. So no, I completely get it. Yeah, I'm every night I'm always correcting the BBC. It's like no, you can't just ignore words. They exist for a reason. Well, don't even get me started on Oxford. It's a well-known fact for anybody who listens to this program that I consider Oxford the gutter of dictionaries, but I don't want to go into that rant yet again. Far beneath Webster.
Throw this computer across the room, buddy.
You know what? I am so sick of Webster. I just want to take a giant Webster dictionary, which is really, really huge because it's full of fake words, and I just want to smack the hell
Speaking of that,
out of the guy who runs Oxford.
That's going to be the next topic because every year I just started this like a year or two ago. I would come up with like new words that the Oxford Dictionary came up with, and I didn't do it yet for this year. So
The gutter of dictionaries.
Yeah, so-
Far beneath Webster.
So stay tuned.
Honestly,
'Cause you liked some of them from the last one. You liked,
well, that wasn't Oxford. That
It wasn't
came from
Oxford?
no. It may have been Webster. It wasn't from Oxford. If
Okay.
you remember, it was
Is
another
Zhuzh
dictionary
in
because
there?
I even.
Zhuzh is not spelled that way, but we'll get to that.
But is it in there?
It is.
Is it?
Well, it's in one of them. I
Well,
looked it up. I found it
Zhuzh-
somewhere.
Look up Zhuzh for us.
try to put that in your Google. Like
it looks Zhuzh. Yeah,
Jewish.
See what it
Well,
says.
it's like
Yeah.
Yiddish.
It's going to say Jews. Like what?
It'll get confused. Yeah, no, Oxford is rubbish. It's beneath the Urban Dictionary. It's a Wikipedia wannabe of dictionaries. It's horrible. Oxford
Remember when he
is.
said he wasn't going to do this?
Yeah, I know. Okay, I need to not get off on. I need to calm down and get away from the. I just hate the Oxford Dictionary.
Yeah.
It is such
Struck a chord
rubbish.
with you.
Oh, but we got to mention like what the show.
Yes,
We were trying to.
I know, but
See to
then
go off on a
you-
rant.
you got me distracted. Ryan got me distracted on the Oxford Dictionary, and it's just important that everyone else out there knows not to buy the Oxford Dictionary. Buy a real dictionary.
So that you can
people
throw it
don't
in
buy
front of
dictionaries no more. We look everything up online now.
But you know what? Dictionary.com, again.
That's why
far-
Encyclopedia Britannica stopped making their books.
Again, though, Dictionary.com is a much better product than the Oxford Dictionary. So tell me about the show, Linda.
Well, it is called Laugh Your Nuts Off.
Say it strong. Say the N word stronger. Say it again.
The N word stronger?
Yeah.
I never do. Oh wait, sorry. Laugh your nuts off.
There you
Okay,
go.
there we
There
go.
you go. I wanted to
There
hear
we
that
go.
Italian. That's what I wanted to hear.
Your nuts.
That's your nuts.
Nuts. Nuts.
Is that the?
Yeah, laugh your nuts off.
Come on, you said you was really Italian.
It's
Come on.
it's an A
We need Brooklyn Italian. Do it.
we
again. We need Brooklyn Italian. Yeah.
I want to hear that King of Queens.
Not
type
Bloomfield
shit.
Italian.
Well, it's the best I can do. Okay, I am from Pennsylvania, so so it is laugh your nuts off.
There you
Is that
go.
better? You got a little more. I got a little zhuzh on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what you need.
Italian Dutch.
Italian. That's fair. That's fair.
All right, go ahead.
But yeah, it is an aid to testicular cancer. That's not the right way to say it, because then that sounds like we're trying to raise money, so testicular cancer
It's not-
was winning. That doesn't. It's not quite what I
Take it over the
meant.
threshold. It's win all the way.
Well, we sponsored an event that was at the it was a long time ago. It was down at Dave and Buster's. It was a comedy show, and it was comedians for cancer. Somebody had said,
Shout out to Matt Light.
yeah. Somebody had said, "Oh, it sounds like that. Like it's comedians who are in favor of cancer."
I swear, I thought it was just like everyone who had cancer that were comedians. That's what I thought when I first.
No, no, it was.
That's what I thought.
People are like trying to get cancer so they can get on the show. They're like, come on, look at this mold.
I'm gonna stand closer to this microwave.
I was so annoyed too during that show because we were sponsoring the show, and I said, well, can I get Tom or Matt onto this show because they're on the network, and I think it was Frank Murgy of the Podcast Network. He said, yeah, we would really like to get Tom on this show, or that we think that it would work with him or something like that. So I said, okay. So I got Tom scheduled. And this is one issue that I always had with their show. He goes up on stage, never mentioned the show, never mentioned the network. I'm thinking, you bastard, I got you the damn gig. So, and if it wasn't for the host, no one would even know that he had a podcast. Luckily, the host was kind of on their game. They didn't get the name of the podcast right. They didn't mention the network, but at least they tried. And yeah, so when you go on tonight, I imagine you will pimp all of your things because that's the thing you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and I'll
right?
absolutely mention Ryan Crawfish, who is part of the Crick's Edge.
I like that, the Crick's Edge. That could be maybe that could be the name of a new network that we launched out.
All Yinzer all day.
On the Yinzer Network.
No.
We only play Donnie Iris.
Pittsburgh station for local yins.
So what else going on with the show? Tell us, why should we come?
Why should you come? You should come to laugh your nuts off. No, that wasn't. I tried really
How
hard.
could I come? Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
We need Howie.
Mine are already
Wait,
off.
We need Howie the hype man. Here we go.
No, what we
Tell
need.
them why.
Tell them why.
Tell 'em why they-
Tell
What we-
people
what
why.
we need-
Come
what-
to Turtle Creek.
Tell them why.
Come to Turtle Creek so you can laugh your nuts off. You hear me? Your frickin' nuts off.
What we need is we need
The left
Ryan.
and the right one.
We need
Both
Ryan for
of
the
them.
junior players.
Both
We're
of them.
talking about coming, right? You've Rocky Horror, right? This would fit right in.
Yes, come down and
That could
fake
be
an
that could be a
orgasm.
promotional. This could be like
Come
a
down and fake an
promotional thing.
orgasm.
We're putting this all together.
This
I like
is like a promotional tool for we need to get your comedy routine,
If you got the balls for it, show
Liz.
up.
Yeah.
You guys, see, we should get your comedy
That's the good
show.
one. If you got the balls for it, show up to laugh your nuts off.
We should get your comedy show to open for the Rocky Horror show.
I'm down with it. I have the what you call the testicular fortitude to do it.
Nah.
Brr-psh.
There we
we'd
go.
always be welcome to things like that. That's awesome.
Let's roll into the Hood Rat of the Week, and then we'll talk with Ryan and see what he has coming up as well. But if I can find...
Ryan number 2.
We are all... Yeah, Ryan Caldwell. So we're all, kind of all over the place right now because of this damn computer thing. Oh, I just found it. All right. We've got the Hood Rat of the Week.
Come on,
It's coming up
crawfish.
right now. Here on River Talk, this is the River's Edge.
Turn that shit up.
Look, we came, we saw, he died. We came, we saw, he died. Look.
We saw, he died.
Hillary Clinton, that's where you will always be my favorite first lady. Sorry, Michelle. Awesome. All right. I wish y'all heard this. Like, y'all heard a little bit. That's why I lifted my headset up so that way you could hear her laughing. Her laughing.
They could hear it. They actually have headsets, just nobody wants to wear it.
Oh.
Y'all had
Get
headsets.
one?
Y'all could have been jamming with me the whole time. Oh.
whole.
I felt weird. It was just
Yeah.
me and. I felt weird. It was just me and him jamming.
I jammed a little.
So what do we have?
So, Hood Rat of the Week. A Florida man is charged with murder after telling authorities that he meant to text his wife about the death of his live-in girlfriend.
What?
Yeah, but nervously messaged a detective instead.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, so did his girlfriend actually die?
Yes, he killed his girlfriend.
Wow.
Yes. Marion County Sheriff officials arrested 52-year-old David W. Romig this past Tuesday, day before Valentine's Day.
DW.
Oh, that sucks. Investigators said that he staged the crime scene to make it look like an intruder entered the home in Denellen. I hope I said that right. Denellen in Florida. This happened on January 30th. 64-year-old Sally Kaufman Ruff was a girlfriend. So, man, 12-year difference. He likes the Cougars. That's awesome. But, oh, wait a minute. Where's the other part? Yeah, detectives found evidence that didn't match Romig's story about the home invasion. He sent 2 text messages saying that he thought he was going to be arrested, and he's being, right now, he
kept texting the same guy?
No, what happened was, I think what happened was, and I read like a couple articles on this, apparently he kept the number of the detective in his investigation of his girlfriend being murdered. Because he wanted to say it was an invasion and stuff. However, when the detectives found like a cloth and a lead pipe in the front of the house, and he said, "Oh, that came from the people who broke in the house," his DNA was all over the shit.
Is this Clue? He had a lead pipe and a candlestick.
I don't even know why it was even there.
In the library?
Because according to the story, him and the girlfriend got into a scuffle and she was shot.
Huh?
Yeah, she was shot. So I don't.
So he ran out of bullets, so he had to go to the lead pipe.
He had to try and come up with something, I guess. How about that? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I want you guys to put the mic in between you two so I can hear both of you.
Oh, in between. Okay, so I just need to lean forward.
It's a condenser mic. It'll pick both of you up.
Okay.
Yes.
But
Okay.
so the lead, I'm like, she was shot.
Mm-hmm.
But he found DNA on the lead pipe. Maybe he's trying to get the bullet out. He's trying to beat it off the other side.
What I find interesting is that he tried to text his wife. Now, this dude has a girlfriend, but he texted his wife out of panic.
Wow.
Why didn't he not, think to delete the number of the detectives who was involved in his investigation?
I don't know if I want to call my wife after I killed my girlfriend.
Right. He's like, honey, I think.
Guess who's coming back home?
They're gonna think I did it. So his excuse was, after detectives started investigating him, he said that he blacked out, and he had an outer body experience. An outer body experience. I guess that's how it is.
Whatever.
Yeah, and he was wrestling with himself with the gun, and it went off.
Wrestling with himself?
Yeah, that's his story.
Let's all do this, okay?
That's his story.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah. It's like third time this week. I mean,
And it's also coincidentally that the girlfriend named him sole beneficiary of her properties and estate, which comes to $200,000, and that excludes her only child that she had. So yeah, in the will, in the will, she excluded her child, but the money would have went to him.
isn't there like
Does
most areas that would have a nice good cliff in it, but in the driving distance?
I know we're in Pittsburgh. Do you know how many cliffs and mountains there are around here?
Rivers.
Yeah, rivers and
Oh my
Creeks.
God.
yeah, cricks.
Yeah, that's the best place. You know, I'm not trying to
Here's the
tell
thing.
y'all how to commit the best murder, but I'm just
However,
saying though,
I
there
will
are
say-
so many rivers here.
I'm just saying,
and they'll never know when they died because the cold water will keep them fresh.
Not
They'd be
only
like, man,
that-
this motherfucker been dead for weeks, but they look like
don't
they
kill
just died
anybody in
yesterday.
your house.
Here's
the
here's
water
one
kept
that's
them
better,
fresh.
Jay. Here's one that's even better.
What?
We live in southwestern Pennsylvania. Our environmental record is horrible. So we've got all of these orange cricks that Linda's talking about. So you could throw the body in the orange crick.
Disintegrate
And
immediately.
the acid mine drainage would just erode the body, and it could look like they've been there for months, or maybe it will just completely disintegrate them altogether. It's so bad that even the fish can't live there.
I hope
Or
you
the
guys are
fish have
taking
3
notes.
eyes.
This
Yeah.
is the educational part of the show.
Here's my question though. Okay, so he has his wife in his phone. Did he not save her number as like, I don't know, wife or something? Or did he accidentally
know,
save
right?
the detective's number as wife? He just got so confused.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know.
I mean, the man wrestles with himself.
He does
so-
wrestle with himself.
I wonder who
That's
won.
Yeah.
That's the question.
The lead pipe.
I wonder what his finisher was. I have no idea.
I mean, so you shoot her, then the lead pipe, and you couldn't throw it no farther than the front of your house.
He has a bad arm
Man,
from wrestling.
yeah.
Yeah, those injuries are real. No. One thing I will say.
He really didn't think it through.
One thing I will say, this guy is not using performance-enhancing drugs.
Clearly.
Nothing enhanced. Yeah.
So the man is being brought up, Mr. Ronig, if I said his Romig, is brought in on second-degree murder, and on top of that, he has been placed on my mini list of hood rats of the week.
Well, I don't.
right.
I can't really consider him like it was like a premeditated because that's his premeditated. That sucks.
He has the worst defense ever, man. Like this
The
is
worst
so bad.
That's worse than the Twinkie
lawyer,
defense.
If the lawyer gets him off, man, I want to hire that motherfucker. You know, just in case it ever happens that I black
Can be
out
charged.
and
Can you
kill
be charged with
somebody.
stupid?
I charge a lot of
think
people
you-
with
I'm not
stupid.
in Pennsylvania, can you? I don't know.
Isn't that kind of like what my Sunday night show is? I literally just come down with the gauntlet on stupid people and charge stupid people for being dumb.
Didn't you have a gauntlet? I could have sworn you did.
No, I wish. I have a bell.
Oh.
It's over there. It's actually back there. It's a giant Kel bell.
Yes.
So, speaking of Kel bells, Ryan, you're a musician.
Fair. Yeah.
What is your stance
He
on
was
the?
like, that's fair. No,
what's your
you could have came back with something, man. That dude just called you a cop.
What is your stance on the cowbell situation? Are you in favor of cowbells? Are you against cowbells?
Or are you more of a triangle man?
I personally am a gigantic fan of. I'm a gigantic fan of Christopher Walken.
Yes.
So there's my answer.
Okay.
I don't know if that answers the question or
Would
not.
you
For those who
I'll take
don't
the
know what you're
cowbell.
talking about,
You're
the great scene from Saturday Night Live when Christopher Walken was the guest on that, and who was the name of the band though?
It
What
was
the-
Dayshift.
No.
Or cowbell.
Who was it? It was.
Because it was like a real band,
The
right?
Reaper. Who does
Oyster
that?
Cult.
Blue Oyster Cult. Yeah.
What is it called?
yeah.
Blue Oyster Cult.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
was
So, would you consider using that cowbell in an upcoming performance with Dayshift? That's your band, Dayshift.
That specific one?
Yes.
Yes.
You would. Oh,
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We'll use it tonight if you want.
Okay, great.
Well, that's a very metal cowbell,
It
to be
is.
fair.
It is. It's a very old school cowbell. It actually has some history
Metal in
to it as well. So it was.
I don't know, man. That thing looks like it needs some CLR.
That thing
like
is
this.
amazing. That thing is good at the way it is. That show rang in the entire River's Edge, everything. It was the first broadcast. We rang that cowbell. We rang it to announce my coronation on the first show.
Coronation.
Yeah.
You shitting me?
So,
I missed it.
it was a good episode, and it was actually Tina Walker's bell, she's the former president of the Millville Community Development Corporation. So it's a really interesting bell. It has some history. She still owns it, but we keep it safe here. This place is getting littered with things that we've gotten from the Walkers. We've got the bell. We also have the groundhog up on the shelf and in the other across the room here. So lots of good stuff here. So you guys would consider playing the cowbell?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Where are you playing tonight?
Tonight's at the stage at Karma. It's a new
Nice.
Ooh, I
South Side.
like that place.
Have-
I haven't been inside,
awesome.
but I saw pictures of it.
It's
yeah.
awesome.
You guys are gonna fill that place up.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I know
great.
it.
It's gonna be a good time.
I live a few blocks away, so I really want to
Where do you live?
check that out. I'm not telling.
Yeah. Tell everybody where you
Address
live.
and apartment number, please.
Where at?
Here's my
Social
schedule.
security number, all
I
of
keep
it. Let's
the
go.
key under the mat.
There you go.
Do you have any close relatives that check up on you once?
So everybody just knows that I live on the big house in town. So
But you don't know the actual address, which is. No,
my address.
I'm just kidding. Oh,
Well,
that's
I mean,
right. I don't even know
I
where
can
you
see
live
a couple
anymore.
of dark
I
skin.
forgot you moved.
A couple of
Yeah, I
dark skinned
moved to the-
family members coming into your house.
I
when
moved
you're
to the
not
big.
there.
I moved to the big house in town. So obviously.
The
we're,
big house?
We're not
The big-
black.
yeah.
We're Sicilian. You ever see them dark skinned Sicilians? Yeah. We could pass for Sicilian.
So this show you have coming on tonight, there's a lot of really great acts on this show. Who's performing with you?
Great acts. There's a band called Sunhound.
Oh,
There's
I
a band called Sunhound, and they are absolutely incredible.
They're great,
Jess and
yeah.
Nicole. Yeah,
Lady
they're
Jessica.
yeah. Her voice.
She's a
is-
Millvillian
she's a
now.
what? Oh, a Millvillian.
Yes.
Okay,
Millvillian.
Yeah,
I like
she
that.
moved here to Millville. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Now we know where she lives.
Yeah, with Scott Gallion.
But yeah, they're playing, and then there's a band called Androy that are playing.
Yeah, they're great, too.
ANJROY. And then Dayshift is my band. We're closing out the night.
Yeah, I've had Android.
Closers. That's what I'm talking.
No, see, it was my drummer's fault. It was actually supposed to be Android that was closing out the night.
Okay.
But they're awesome.
They are great,
and
yeah.
They decided that it would be cool that since my drummer has this jazz drumming thing that he's doing at school an hour away, and he wouldn't be able to make it for the 9:00 slot that we were originally supposed to have. So I hit them up and I was like, "Hey, is there any chance we could switch?" And they were like, "Yeah, that's great." So
Awesome. Yeah, they're really cool.
Super cool for that, and I can't wait to hear both of those bands play.
I
'cause-
wonder if it's like I'm almost afraid now to get Sunhound in this studio, and the reason why is because I had Android. I had a member of Android on my show. We were down at Tazadora, and the internet just would not work
Yikes.
right before the
Ooh,
show.
yeah.
Today I have you on, and all of the cameras go bad at the same time. It's like anytime somebody who's on this lineup comes onto this
Yeah.
program, it's
Sure
complete
sounds like it.
chaos. So I'm hoping the show goes well
It's a
tonight.
mark of good music. We don't have to have the internet to play our music, so I think we'll be all right.
But what if like the lights just stop working?
And I got an acoustic guitar.
There you go. So you guys are set.
I
Okay.
got an answer for everything. I like that.
Yeah. So this is a good show. Are you guys going to be at the main stage over there,
You know what?
or at the side stage? Or?
Actually, I don't know. I think I saw a post this morning from Karma, or maybe it was Kevin posted it. Somebody posted it that we're going to be on the bar stage.
Kevin Safner, what
Kevin
the
Sa-
manager
Give it
of
up for
those stages.
Kevin.
Yes, Kevin.
Yes. Love the new venue.
If I don't know how many people know about James Street, but obviously, you know,
Yes.
James,
Well, if they're
He was,
a listener of this program, they should know. We've
That's-
covered it pretty
I
extensively.
miss that place so
Yep.
much.
yeah, it was a great spot
Ugh.
for sure. But yeah, so Karma's the new spot, and it looks incredible. I've only ever been there for an open mic night, so I don't know what
I have yet to go
full
there for
band
the open
sound is going to be like. I'd imagine it's going to be great. I mean, if not, at least it's going to look really cool. So
All right.
You gotta trust Kevin on that.
yeah, I believe it'll be a
Now,
really great
what
show.
instrument do you play?
I play guitar mostly in the band. I play guitar and sing. It's a three-piece band. There's guitar. My brother Dylan plays the bass, and our buddy Braden plays the drums.
All right.
So three-piece. I've been trying my darndest to coin the phrase "chipe rock" as our genre. That is chill and hype. So
Now, you guys applied for the music festival. Did you just put down rock?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Probably.
Because that's the one thing with the festival is like we actually had to like change the submission process for the Millville Music Festival because we had an other option, and everybody would come up with these insanely creative genres for their band, and we're like, no. So we got rid of that option.
Yeah, I think there were like subgenre. Like you had to click. There was like a little list that came down, and you had to select from.
How big is
From
the
that list, yeah, it's pretty extensive
pretty
because
extensive.
we made it. We tried to include
Uncreative though.
It's uncreative, yes, because it's very hard to book 400 plus and organize 400 plus bands and decide who's performing and who's not and who's going to pair up with what area whenever you don't have clear.
Do you have French
genre.
Norwegian
I was just gonna say.
ennui metal? No.
I don't know.
Damn it. Well.
Not yet.
Jonathan, we better have that on there because I love French Norwegian on Wheat Metal.
How about some Italian Dutch music? That would be interesting.
Italian Dutch.
Italian Dutch folk music.
So we actually did have one band that was international that applied this year for that music festival,
Really?
but it's outside of our 100-mile radius of what we accept. And then we've also had I don't want to get into it because we haven't announced who's playing and who's not. We're still trying to work through that process, so I don't want to announce any bands that applied that we don't know.
But it's going to be fun.
It'll be
It's
awesome.
going to be bigger
yeah.
than it was last year.
So we actually just had a Millville Music Minute. If you guys want to check that out, it's available at the Millville Music Festival page at Millville Music. And in that Millville Music Minute, we had Mike Zickafus on the program who was talking about the inclusion of an arts festival to this year's music festival. So we will be closing Sedgwick Street. We're actually going to be closing Sedgwick Street down, which is the street.
Huge.
in-
That was.
Yeah, and that was right. That's the one that's right in front of Panza Gallery.
Yeah.
So right there's going to be art on both sides of the road with the stage at the bottom of the street, and you'll be able to view. We're hoping between 40 and 50 artists at the music festival this year, in addition to over 150 bands that will be performing, bands and artists. So
The
it's going to be
submissions for that are until March, correct?
for the art
For
side.
the art
yes,
side of it.
but not the music. The music is done.
Closed.
Yes, and no, you cannot weasel your way in. So that's the thing, is everybody tries to get in on the last minute, and it's not fair to the 400 plus that apply.
Yes,
to
especially when you're not
somebody.
bringing money to Brian. Anyway.
Well, no, we don't. The artists don't
Or
pay.
booze.
Yeah, we do pay the musicians. So
No, we're
that
talking
is the
about
one
pay
thing.
you to be on.
Pay me to give me a bribe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could have a little FIFA action going on with this music festival. Take off their model. They're pretty financially successful, right?
We have a whole other segment of the show called Bribe and Crawford.
That's a good idea.
I like that idea. Hey, if you give me cash, man,
Things can happen.
The whole lineup is
I will-
changing this week.
Bobbing for crawfish.
I
I'm
will-
down with that.
I will certainly dance for cash. So
He's
So-
actually a pretty good dancer too. Like,
I am.
yeah, you are. You are because like you just do whatever. Like
Because I have absolutely
like-
no rhythm or skill.
I know, and that's what makes you so interesting. You're like Elaine.
It's like
you're like
with
a
the
male.
robot.
You're like a male version of Elaine Bennis. It's awesome. That was a Seinfeld reference. I don't know if y'all caught that.
It is, yeah. That is basically. You know what? I give myself credit for one thing, and I wear this as a badge of honor. Do you all remember the old place? It was called Saddle Ridge, the old dance club, Saddle Ridge.
Missed that place.
You missed Saddle Ridge. I like Saddle Ridge too. I rode the mechanical bull there once, but
Yeah.
one time we were there at Saddle Ridge, and I don't know how to dance. I don't know how to do anything. So they're playing some sort of like country song because that's what they do at Saddle Ridge. I get onto the stage. I start doing the robot. And I get like 15 people to start doing the robot with me at Saddle Ridge.
That is impressive, actually.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with myself. I thought that was pretty fantastic to be able to get that many people to do the robot at Saddle Ridge, which is again a country bar.
That's what you should have that bowl thing at the festival. That would be fun.
That would be
What was
amazing.
that one song they played all the time? It was I can't remember the name of the band. What was it? Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy.
Yeah.
That was
I know
a.
that.
Oh
So
my
that's
God,
another
that song was
interesting
the shit
story.
back in the day, man.
That was another interesting story too. So speaking of Rocky Horror, speaking of everything else that's going on here, I was at an Irwin concert in the park once, and the band. So there's all of these kids, these little children, up in the front of the stage, and they're dancing. We're talking like little kids, like elementary school aged kids, and they're all dancing in front of the stage to whatever's being played on stage. And then the band decides to play Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy at the Irwin Park concert in the park. So then these two women start grinding on each other provocatively in the middle of all of these little kids.
Nice.
And they're
Nice.
grinding on each other. They're having a great time. They're really getting into it, really provocative, really
At least it
intimate.
was each other, not the kids. That's where I thought that sentence
That-
was going for a moment.
that would be interesting if they were
That's all
grinding
Liz
kids.
going like.
No, but they were grinding each other, but like they were in the middle of all of these like young children that are dancing to the music. So then the Irwin police had to come and pull the women away from the front of the stage and escort them out of the park.
You should have arrested the kids.
You gotta love country music and alcohol, the combination.
Thanks,
It is.
Westmoreland County, for
Yeah.
being classy.
Yeah, it was an interesting experience. Do you,
You're always on the news.
Ryan? Do you expect women to be grinding in front of the stage at your performance tonight?
Since everybody who's going to be going to their show to laugh their nuts off, I'd imagine that all the people who don't have nuts are going to end up at our show. So yes, I hope that they all end up grinding
in front of the stage.
In front of the stage.
What if
there
they
won't be any kids there?
They could do both.
What if they got on stage and started grinding with the band members?
Well, that's fine too.
They got to be hot.
Stay away from my
And they
brother.
gotta be
And
women.
stay away from my drummer because they both have girlfriends that will murder them, and I need them to.
What if
play
those
music.
girls came as well?
They can go up and grind on
Okay.
their.
It's
on
getting
their
really
partners.
complicated. You guys want to play music on this stage?
Oh
There's
my
so much
God.
grinding.
All these goddamn rules.
It's grindcore.
It's
You can't grind him. You can't
It's
grind
not.
him.
It's not grindcore. You can grind me all you want. That's fine. I'm up there.
He's grindable.
So basically, you're taking it, the blunt of it.
I am
Like,
not. I will take all of it.
You'll
yeah.
take it.
I'll
Okay.
take all of it. That's
All
fine.
right.
covered in grind.
I'll make the sacrifice and take all of it. That's fine.
We're gonna have people grinding at our show now.
That's
what?
cool.
And just spray
Go
some
for it.
groupie.
I hope so.
You just have to spray some groupie repellent on your brother, and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think I just came up with a new invention.
Groupie repellent. I dig
Groupie
it.
repellent. Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
A lot of Hollywood wives.
So what is going to be in this repellent?
What did you say?
What will be in this groupie
It
repellent?
smells like poor people.
Yes.
Yeah. Like urine and and misery.
pee.
And your mom's basement.
All right, excellent.
Yeah.
So we've got that. What time does your show start tonight?
Doors are opening at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock,
Show
and that's on
starts at
Carson
9.
Street,
It is
Karma.
on Carson.
I don't believe they have a sign yet. Do they?
Yeah, they do.
They do.
They've got
Okay.
a sign. It's all lit up. It's like
Oh, great.
like neon. I don't want to say neon. Maybe it's not neon. It's whatever.
Yes,
like bright,
I was there
super bright
before the sign.
lights.
I was, being that I'm an elite member of the Pittsburgh media, I was given a special private invitation before anybody else. Before they even had, they had like the big media meet and greet where they invited media members and band members. Yeah, I got to go into that place before that meet and greet. I had a personal invitation because I'm a big shot.
Yeah,
They're
he's
trying
also
to bribe
a
you.
member of the Carnegie Library.
what
Or
Yeah, I'm a
Carnegie,
member. I'm a member of the
Museum,
Carnegie Museums as well. Yeah, and actually I have a dual membership, so I can bring a guest as well.
Oh, I'm getting thumbs
So,
up. I
all
love
right.
it. Love you guys.
How do you know I'm not getting
You guys
thumbs
are
up?
awesome. I would think we all are getting thumbs up. You know?
Sharing the thumbs.
Yes.
I don't know. I think you're getting a thumb sideways. No, I'm just joking. But, all right.
It's by
So-
Cambodicam.
Oh,
if that helps.
and may I say
What's that?
It's by Cambodicam.
Okay, yeah, no, it's a nice venue. I'm really excited about that space. It's a really really beautiful venue. I really think it's going to be a unique spot in Pittsburgh, which is cool. It's got something a little bit different than everything else, even in the South Side, which is good because you don't want that way you don't have businesses taking away from other businesses.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up that on the flyer for the Laugh Your Nuts Off show
With Linda Chipotle.
Yes. I think you pointed it out first.
What?
The little hairs.
Oh
on this
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Oh, they have.
The hairs on the balls. Yeah.
Yeah, at first it looked like
Hairy balls. There's
At first
hairy balls on the flyer.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't.
70s style.
It's very.
Quite the scrotum.
It's very hidden because
That's
I'm
a
like,
manly scrotum right
what
there.
kind of fruit is
That's
this?
at first I was like, oh, it's
I'm
fruit.
like-
That's not fruit.
Yeah,
It is a fruit. Nuts are
Fruit of the loom.
the fruit of loins. Fruit of the loins. Ooh, I just came up with some new. Damn, I'm on a roll today. I'm just coming up with shit.
He's an
Right.
entrepreneur
That's the
today.
part. That's the
Yeah.
berries from the twiggin berries.
So we're gonna wrap things up
Could
here.
make a cereal.
I would like everybody to go through. We've got a lot of things
Twiggin
to
berries.
Put some milk on my.
We've got a lot
balls.
of things to plug here today, so I do want to come through and give everybody a chance to push
Yes.
what they've got going on one more time before we wrap the entire show up. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m., I'll be back. We're going to be bringing in a new segment for the Sunday night show. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be once a month. We will have the man who started it all, the man who invented podcasting in Pittsburgh, the legend, the technology guru, the wrestling maniac, Michael Sorg, will be joining River Talk once a month with a tech item of the month. He will be in studio. He will be bringing in something new and unique to the River's Edge every month to River Talk that you can go out and buy. We'll see if he can compete with what I've brought. I think he will. Sorg will bring better stuff than what I have brought to his show, but I always bring things that people buy. It's great. I am very proud to say that I am the only person on AwesomeCast to get someone to purchase what I was pimping while we were live on air And then it happened twice. So I brought in 2 awesome things of the week, and both times somebody purchased what I bought while we were live on air. I'm the only one to do it.
And what
What were you pimping?
So the first one was the first thing that I brought in that somebody purchased was a little mini projector. So it was a little mini HD projector. It was only it was smaller than this cell phone, and you could attach it to a cell phone if you wanted to. And it was great quality. You could even just shine it on a wall without a screen. It's strong enough to do that. And it was only $100. And I was so impressed with it, I brought it in, and somebody who was watching the show really liked it, and he purchased this projector while we were live on air. So then I came back a few weeks later, and it was the awesome thing of the year. And that guy in the chat, because there's a live chat just like there is for this show, he messages in the live chat that projector was his awesome thing of the year. And then I give my awesome thing of the year, which was my man purse that I use to carry my iPad, because it's $1,000 iPad and I don't want it to break. So I bought this bag. And while we were on air, somebody who was he's actually a tech guru himself, John Chichilla, who gets all of this tech stuff in advance. He's sitting next to me. He pulls out his phone and he purchases the bag while we were on air. 2 for 2, bitches. That's right. Brian Crawford on AwesomeCast, undefeated. So we're going to bring Sorg, and he's going to bring some of that awesome magic to he's already on the River's Edge Saturday. He's actually on right before this show, Saturday mornings at 9 a.m., but he's going to be on now twice a week on every third Sunday of the month. And he's going to be bringing in an awesome thing of the month as well. So we look forward to that. So, comedy show.
Yes, thank you, Brad. Tonight at the Subalpine, we have Laugh Your Nuts Off at 9. 9? 9? Is it 9?
Oh, shit.
We'll get back to that. Ryan, what do you have tonight?
It's 9 o'clock. Yes, it's 9 o'clock.
What?
Tonight
at 8 o'clock. Doors open. Show starts at 9 at Karma in the South Side.
Awesome. Yeah. Ryan from Junior Chamber of Commerce Players. When is your next Rocky show?
The next one is February 24th. Follow us on all of our social media at JCCP-PGH. You'll find us Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're all over. So come out and see us February 24th, and then probably 2 weeks after that, and keep going on.
Awesome.
That's what's up.
Jay, Howie, anything else for you guys?
All right, real quick. Yes, me and Howie are going to be with Liz Tripoli and Vincent Dediano over at the Subalpine. So that's going to be nice. That's tonight. Yeah, Laugh Your Nuts Off tonight at 9 o'clock in Turtle Creek. Wednesday, February 21st, we're going to be at the Improv for their monthly open mic. That's going to be. Yeah, and then on the 24th, we have the Steel City Comedy Competition that's run by Idiot Radio. Our man Todd DeFazio is going to be running that. And headliner is Aaron Kleiber, and our man Ty Mack will be the host of the show. So
fantastic.
That's going to be fun. And of course, we have our weekly midweek mic at the Hidden Pub in Oakland, 328 Atwood Street. Come out if you want to tell some jokes, all right? It's a good place. And then, of course, check us out on our Facebook page, On Our Way with Howie and Jay, and we're also on YouTube, too. So
fantastic. Speaking of Idiot Radio, I have been selected as one of the few elite judges to judge everyone in the South Hills at the upcoming Brookline's Got Talent competition. So be sure to stay tuned for this program and the River Talk Facebook page for more information on all of that. I'll be back here tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Don't forget, it's going to be live at riversedgepgh.com/live, and of course right here on the River Talk Facebook page at River Talk PGH on Facebook. We're going to have Michael Sorg in studio, as said, so that's going to be an exciting thing to check out, so don't miss that either. Thank you so much to Ryan Pasko of the Junior Chamber of Commerce Players.
Yes.
Thank you to Ryan Caldwell of Dayshift, Liz Tripoli for Jaye Cooper, Howie D. Mack. I'm Brian Crawford. This has been River Talk on the River's Edge Radio Network. I'll catch you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. We've got local music up next right here at Pittsburgh's Voice for Local Music, riversedgepgh.com.
Later, bitches. Woo!